Nice and stormy. What is up, my dog's lost in here? I'm a little toasted and tired right now. So I just wrapped up a gator hunt with two of my brother-in-laws, Nick and Jess, and then our really good friend Isom. And I had 2 gator tags and Nick had 2 gator tags, and we spent oh, it's raining, perfect, the last 2 nights, one night scouting and then one night hunting. So all last night from 4 in the afternoon, we started getting set up, and around 5 we were allowed to hunted till about 12 at night, and we got blown off the lake by a storm. Got back up at 4, went out and hunted, and we harvested 1 gator. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave like a link for it. You can go back and check it out. But everyone had to leave, and I was supposed to go home too, but I'm sitting here looking at this lake, and I'm like, dude, I can't not go try to catch some big bass while there's a lake sitting right next to me. So got the cooler right here full of meat. That's hummus and ground beef unrelated. In this bag is the hide, and down there there's a ton of meat. Really awesome. So I'm very excited to dig into some of that, but you'll probably already see that video hopefully. Right now, rain's about to start coming down, so we'll hop onto the chest camera, but we're gonna make our way through these big giant cypress trees and see if we can find a really big bass, throw on maybe a buzz bait or topwater or swim bait or something. I'm really fired up. I'm in a place where like the fishing is really tough, but there's just big fish here. Like there's not a lot of fish, but there are big ones. So we're gonna see if we can make it happen right now. But let's get after it and wrap up our little trip. Storm is a-coming. I can already see on that half of the lake it is absolutely downpouring actually, so that'll be on me in a few seconds here. But we're gonna throw a old buzzard bait around. I just crush it here on the buzz bait, man. So we're gonna stick with what we know catches big fish, and work it around this pepper grass and around the base of these mega cypress trees. This is like one of my favorite places on earth to fish because it's so beautiful, so old Florida. I mean, old Florida for sure, but if I told you, hey, right now we're fishing in South Carolina or Georgia, you'd be like, yeah, makes sense, looks like it. It's just such a unique spot, and we're gonna see if we can slap a honker on the buzz bait here. And if the lightning gets bad, we'll tuck up in the hammock and hide with the alligators underneath the cypress tree. I ain't sweating it though. Oh my gosh, second catch! Come on! What? Are you kidding me? Dude! Oh. I was not prepared. My brain wasn't mentally prepared for that to happen. Gosh, that was awesome. That's a good sign. That is a very good sign. I've legitimately never fished a lake where buzz baits work better than like any other lure than this place I'm at right now. And my legitimate theory is the fact that there are so many dang trees everywhere that the bass here are used to birds and squirrels and rats and anything up in the trees falling into the water, and so they're used to something like shimmering, kicking on top, especially if a bird falls in the water, starts flapping around like a swallow or any type of like fledgling. It's game over, brother. Oh, I just I think that's a bowfin. Oh no, that's a bass. That was so weird. It just like so barely slurped it. Boom. 2-pounder on the old buzz. That was a very interesting eat. Like really just like really gingerly popped it. And I thought it was gonna be a bowfin, but a little chunk. All right, cool. First fish down. Let's hope we can find a stanky tanky here. Oh my god! Sorry, keep going. I got blown up by a big fish behind the cypress stump here. Yeah, I'm talking to my wonderful wife on the phone because I haven't seen her. Oh, there it is. I don't know if that's a bowfin or a bass. Oh, I still can't tell if it's a bowfin or a bass, but nice fish, dude. He exploded on the backside of that stump. That was insane. Probably another 2.5. He's probably got a half a pound on that first one I caught, but that eat was crazy, man. Beautiful. All right. Oh, there is a fish. I can't tell if that's good or not. I almost didn't come up and flip in this pocket. Got another same exact size. Oh, there he goes. Got another 2.5. That's all right. It's pretty cool. It's always cool watching them chomp at top water and figuring out something pretty good. I mean, it's probably been 20 minutes since I caught my last fish. Like, we're not crazy far between fish catches here, and really dialing in a pattern. Grass, then overhang vegetation around stumps, whether that's Spanish moss or even pepper grass around the stumps, but that's what it's all about. Oh God, that eat was sick. I think that's a bigger bass. That's a bigger bass. That's a bigger bass. That's a bigger bass. He's not like, I don't think he's like a 6 or anything, but he's a big fish. Oh! Tank. That's what I'm talking about. That was literally forecast from that last fish I just caught. There's a good fish right there. I bet he'd go right at 4 just because he's skinny. It's like the most typical Florida fish ever. Big giant head, long body, but just kind of thin in the gut here. But I bet he's right at 4. I don't have a scale with me, but beautiful fish. And he annihilated that buzzbait, man. That's the type of fish I'm talking about right there, baby. The old buzzard bait and murdering it out here, boy. You gotta love it. I love working through the 2s and just watching the top water eats, but when a 4 crunches down like that, doggy, come on now. All right, I'm in good spirits. I'm tired, but I'm in great spirits here. Upgrading fish. Maybe we'll end up sticking like a 6, a 7, hell, an 8. I don't know. Might be getting a little ahead of myself. It's like 1 in the afternoon. It's like not a good time to be fishing, but we're crushing them, so whatever, dude. All right, it is 2:45 right now. I'm gonna force myself to throw this lure I'm about to show you for maybe an hour, maybe 45 minutes. This is a rat. This is a giant hand-carved wake bait, not hand-carved, but a handmade wake bait by my buddy Joel Edwards, JJ, from Australia. And this is a lure meant for Murray cod. If you don't know what Murray cod is, imagine like a Goliath grouper and a largemouth bass made sweet coitus and had a bass that gets 80 pounds. It's literally, it looks like a grouper, but it lives in fresh water and eats things like a bass. And he hand makes these rat lures right here called the Splinta. It's a giant wake bait. It's supposed to have a tail, but the tail actually got bitten off by another bass the other day when I was fishing, but it never became a video. And we're gonna try to do Joel some honors here and see if we can get it. These things, he hand makes them and people buy them for hundreds of dollars. So this is really cool. And we are gonna try to swim this around some trees here and see if maybe a 10-pound largemouth or something will just come up and smack the rat. It's very plausible. I've never been in a place more where I think we're almost up against the challenge because there's not a ton of fish in this lake, but there are big fish. And you look at this type of structure we're fishing, man, it's like, how do birds not fall in the water? How do squirrels not fall in the water? How do not rats not fall in the water? I've seen so many squirrels hopping along these trees while I've been fishing this afternoon. So it is not unrealistic for a old ratopotamus to fall in the water and get eaten by a big old largemouth. So dude, if we hook one, I'm gonna lose my mind. I can just envision the 10-pounder. Oh my goodness, it's a wasp. Look, get out of here. Gosh, that thing will smack me right between the eyeballs. Ah, get away. I'm like normally not bothered by wasps flying around me, but that thing literally almost hit me directly between my 2 eyes. There's a little bass just came out and slurped the buzzer right on the backside of that cypress. I've been throwing that rat for the past like 40 minutes, picked up the buzz bait, about 8 casts with it and got connected. You just really throwing a bait that's an 8-inch rat, you're singling out so many fish. Like, or excluding so many fish, whatever the best way to say it. Like, fish like that, he can't even fathom eating a trout, you know what I mean? It takes a special fish, and that's a very special bait meant for a special fish, and I know we'll catch a giant on it one day. We might pick it up again after our seat by maybe catch anything good on the buzz. Get up in there. This looks so good. It feels Jurassic in here, man. I don't even feel like I'm fishing in earth. Like, there's giant trees, there's giant gators, there's birds everywhere. You'll literally be sitting around, you'll hear birds cawing and screaming. There's owls, ospreys, eagles, every bird you think of, man. It's too dope. I'm getting waked on by something. Oh, nice bass. Right up in that pocket between all these cypress trees. Ooh, he's like a 3.5 maybe. He's bigger than the average one, but not as big as that last one I caught. Oh, he might be just as big, if not bigger. Hot damn, son. What you know about it? We're killing them. We are crushing them. That's probably just under 4. Just once again, he might be 4, man. He's a good fish. Look at that little bucket. Gosh, man, this is just dope. This is so good. Well, I mean, just look at this. I can't think of a cooler place to catch some fish. It's just unreal. Can we go back to back? Something's coming in on it. Must be a gar. Yeah. Whew. We gotta live in the sweet life, boys. We're gonna live in the sweet life. This place just looks like there should be a 20-pound bass there on every corner. It's just insane how good everything looks. But places like this can be hard because everything looks good and not every single inch of water can be occupied. So it's not as easy to key in on things when you have 5 billion cypress trees and endless amounts of pepper grass and whatnot, because there's not going to be fish in everyone. It's like, you know, when you're fishing a body of water and like you figure out the fish are hanging on docks, like they're hanging on hard structure. All right, just go fish a bunch of freaking docks there and you'll find fish. But this, it's like, oh, I'm getting waked on by something big. But this, it's like, you know, the fish are on pepper grass and cypress trees. Well, I'm in luck. There's 5 jillion cypress trees and endless amount of pepper grass. Like endless amount of pepper grass. I pointed this tiny sparse clump, but there's a lot of pepper grass. So it's definitely a totally different scenario than most places you find yourself. It is entirely possible that my brain is being cooked inside my head right now. Just like a big fat crock pot. I've been out in the sun for too long and I feel like my brain is melting. Oh, that's disappointing. I like when buzzbaits go. All right. No. All right, it's hot. My brain's hot. The bass are hot. I think I've lost like 70% of my brain function with being cooked out here in the sun. And yeah, it's we're gonna go home. I've only fished for like 3 hours probably, and I'm very, very happy with the results we've had here. Crushed. I think got 6 or 7 bass, and 2 of them were close to 4 pounds. Like, come on, that's just good living. But we're gonna head home. Successful bass fishing, had a successful gator hunt. Let's go home. I'll catch up with you at home.